Hi everyone, it's Nicole, and I'm here to bring you along to totally organize my room. I have been at we're at the end of November, and I started, I'm pretty sure it was early May, sometime in May. What I first did was I did an intense cleaning on my room. That took me 10 weeks, I believe. I divided my room in 10 areas, if you will, and then I went and I did kind of a deep clean. But what that didn't do was it was all that you could see, right? And I still have actually one area that I need to work on that you can see, and that's by my big IKEA shelf when you first go up the stairs. But I almost look at that as little compartments because if I sat there and just worked on that, that would be like 4 hours. So I'm just doing little compartments at a time. And I just needed a break from that. So what I decided to do was to start organizing. And somebody had asked me how many drawers I had and all this stuff. And I think it was 100 like drawers or 100 IKEA things. And then I figured out I had like maybe 30 of those that were drawers, like containers with drawers in them. And there's 3 drawers in each. So that means I have at close to 100 drawers that I have to clean up. So if you're wondering, like, man, it's just one drawer after another. Yeah, I have almost 100 I have to clean. And another thing I started doing is I got a little labeling machine, and you'll see here I'm not going to do it with you here because I've done it quite a few times in videos, but before I started, I went, okay, today I'm working on my tag drawer, I'm working on my foil drawer, I'm working, I just went through them and I made little labels for them, and I'm putting them on the front of the drawer for 2 things. One, I'll know what's in the drawer, which, is pretty amazing. And two, there's that little sticker. And two, when I look at the drawers, it's like, oh, this drawer's done. And there was quite a few drawers that I had already cleaned and I had not put a little sticker on. So what I did was I think I printed like 10 or 15 of them, and I put this, I would open up and go, oh yeah, this one's cleans and this is tools. So then I would put a tool sticker on the drawer. And with just a glance now, I can go, I did all those drawers, I did all those drawers, and then I can go and clean the drawers that need to be cleaned. Another thing that I want to mention is when I unpacked my boxes, when I, moved into the house and unpacked my boxes, I was very good at saying, okay, this drawer is going to be, frames, for example. This drawer was all frames and this drawer is going to be all tags. And without even labeling, I was able to go and make sure that I put the tags all together, the frames all together. I was really good at that. And as you can tell, like as I'm cleaning these drawers, the previous one with the tags, there was maybe 3 or 4 things that were in there that didn't belong in there. So I went and I put them where they belonged. Like some of those were like journaling pads and they look like tags. So that's why I put them in there. But then I had done a journaling drawer a few weeks ago and I'm like, I think I'd rather put them with the other ones that I have. So I went and moved those. But when I take everything else, for example, like this foil drawer, everything's all foil. But when I was putting everything in the drawer, I was just kind of throwing it in. I didn't take my time and really organize it. And now I'm taking that time. I mean, it was 8 years ago. Everything was in there and I knew if I needed foil exactly where I needed to go. But now I just like that it's nice and organized. And then I can just put it back. And now when I look through it, it'll be easy for me to find the color that I need. Another thing, when I was doing the labels, I'm like, oh yeah, I wanted to do little labels for my art crayon. So on the front of it, it says art crayon. On the side of it, I put the colors that are in there, and it goes right underneath that little wooden shelf that I have on my desk. And now I don't have to pull all of them if I want to find a neutral one. I know exactly which little container it is. And next, I'm going to do the same thing, not today, But when I did those, I was like, oh, I need to do those too for my embossing glaze. The last drawer I'm going to do today, and this will be drawer number 4. So I'm really happy that I got to 4 drawers, is all my drawers with my bottle caps. And again, I'm going to make a little label that says bottle cap. And that tool, I was like, you know what? I have another space where I keep all tools like that. So I ended up putting that tool with that. And I wanted to make sure that I did some journaling. I hadn't done journaling maybe in a couple of weeks. And it seems to be okay because my goal was to do 10 a week, so 40 a month. And lately, what I've been doing is journaling about every 2 weeks, and I do between, 25 or 17, 15 plus layouts when I'm doing the journaling. So on this day, I did 17, and my goal is to do about 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, I'm kind of over it. I'll admit it. Journaling is not my favorite thing to do, but I know it's needed. So that's where, once a week or once every 2 weeks, I put 20 minutes, and whatever I can journal in 20 minutes, that's what I get done. And I'm actually enjoying doing it this time because I've made such a small goal for myself. Like every other year, I was like, I'm going to do 25 pages a week, and that's going to be 100 pages a month. And then, I'll have all my layouts journaled on in a year. Well, I barely got any done. And because this time I made my goal way smaller, I'm kind of exceeding at it. Now, it wasn't a year like a calendar year, so it wasn't January to December. It was actually once I got this desk cleaned up. That's when I made the goal. I'm like, ooh, because this desk where the markers are, that was filled with finished layouts. And the whole desk was filled with finished layouts. Now I've moved all those layouts in my recollections containers, the one that have the slots that are vertical. And I think I have 8 times 4, so 32 of those slots filled out with layouts that need to be journaled. And it's okay. When I looked at the whole thing, it was a little overwhelming. But now that I've, made it so that it's more bite size, I'm getting somewhere with it, like when I look at those now, I have 2 of those vertical slots that are completely done. Like I've journaled everything on those layouts, and I'm really happy about that. And I'm just going to keep plugging away, and as long as I do about 40 a month, then that means in a year, I'm going to do 480 layouts. And like I said, some weeks I do more than 20, and there's one time I did like 31. It just depends if some of them, the journaling is intense. And I found that this day here, all the layouts, the journaling was quite long. And I started saying that I'm quite enjoying it because I love to go through my layouts and seeing some previous layouts that I did, Like sometimes I think it feels like, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but it just feels like all my layouts look the same. And when I go through something like this, I'm like, no, my layouts don't look the same. They all look different. And I just look, it's kind of a motivator for me to see, layouts with pictures on it and all that good stuff. Oh, this one here, that's a funny story. I kind of slowed down the video because a lot of people asked me to slow it down so that they could see the layouts as I'm journaling on them. But when I got it might have been my iPhone, I don't know, 8 or something, there was memojis that you could use. And I don't know how I stumbled upon it. Anyway, and I'm like, what is that? And then the giraffe kind of mimicked what I said. And I'm like, oh, this is cool. And of course, if you know me, I don't take sleeping pills anymore. But when I worked, I had to take sleeping pills to sleep. and sometimes they made me a little silly. So I did this little recording, and I know I still have it on my phone here somewhere. Anyway, I sent it to my son, it was maybe 10 or 15 seconds, and I sent it to my son and my daughter, and within 2 seconds of each other, 2 minutes of each other, both of them said, Mom, did you take your sleeping pill? And it was quite silly. The video was quite silly. And I still, I sent it to one of my friends. She was pretty stressed. And I said, Here, listen to this. This will make you laugh. And she's like, Yep, I'm going to keep that handy because now I'll be listening to that whenever I feel like laughing. And it was just silly stuff. I was like, What are you talking about? And then I was making because the giraffe opens her mouth and goes, ah, ah. So I was doing that. Anyway, it was just a lot of fun. So I thought I'd share that with you. That was quite a few years ago. So that's it. That is going to complete this Organize with me. So if you're new to my channel, don't forget to hit subscribe. If you're enjoying these videos, if you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up, leave me a comment down below. And I want to thank you so much for watching. Bye.